This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
The boys are here and I'm so happy. Hate Story 4 and really the brothers. Yeah. Because you guys look like brothers, man. I'd be damned if I didn't know you were Karan Wahi and I didn't know you were Vivan Bhathena. I would have said brothers. How are you guys? Hi Vivan, how are you, man?
Hi Hrishi, I'm amazing.
Hi Karan.
Hello Hrishi.
It's amazing to be here with you finally, and we've been waiting for this.
Yep.
I've been telling him that I'm excited about
this.
I've been waiting to get on the show and speak to you.
Lovely. So lots of mint being used, considering that there's so much of kissing in the film.
Kind of.
Like in the US, you know how it is in LA, na? Before a scene they actually give you mints. Which is why there are a lot of people in the UK when they go to shoot in the US are like thrown off, saying, "Ye kya ho raha hai? Do I have bad breath?"
No, because it was Uroshi, we used onion and garlic and a little bit of
Ginger,
lasun and
What badmashis you are, man.
but-
Please speak about Miss Indias with great respect.
No, but
Karan and Vivan.
the problem was that all our kissing scenes have happened either after lunch, evening snacks, or probably breakfast.
and I eat a lot of fish, so I'm a big fish eater. So it was a
So
There
she
were a
got,
lot of fish
she
in
got
the pond.
prawn, she got chicken,
Yeah.
she got
mutton.
She got ramen actually
the,
from me.
the protein content in her kissing scenes is very high.
very high.
It's very
It's
high.
almost a keto kiss.
Keto kiss.
Yeah.
It's a KK.
So basically you have destroyed her love life.
Yeah.
Because every time when she goes for a real passionate kiss,
Yeah.
she's going to be thinking of fish breath Vivan
Yeah.
and chicken breath Karan.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you did. You know?
And imagine
It's
if,
very bad.
she gets pan in that, then what happens?
You
There's
guys
such complete multi-cuisine
You
restaurant.
guys are such vile, evil characters. dude.
No, but we have done one thing for her. Now, she'll never need to do surgically enhance her lips. They've been, physically enhanced.
Yeah.
Just pull them.
Urvashi, we love you for the record. Yeah, we're just three bad boys, and
Boys will be boys.
boys will be boys. We don't have a choice. It's locker room conversation. That's the way it goes. This is an interesting franchise to work in, man. I mean, because there's a bit of murder, there's thrills, and this and that. Did you guys actually watch the previous one? Karan, did you see the previous
I've
ones?
watched 2 and 3 because 2 had Jay Bhanushali,
Yeah, of course,
friend
yeah.
of mine. 3 had Karan Singh Grover, another friend of mine. So I think the main reason was them. That's why I watched the films, and it's a successful franchisee because I think वो हमने बोला था ना नब्ज पकड़ ली है Mr. Pandya ने.
Yeah, they've really
So
got on the way.
when he offered me Hit Story 4, when I went for the first narration, what I loved about the script was that it actually had a story. And when we usually talk about erotic thrillers, we always keep the story sideways and we're like, "Arey, this film is all only about sex, kissing, and a lot of other sensual stuff." But I'm glad that we saw whatever we saw during the film making and even in the dubbing, that it's come out really, really well, and it's not looking sleazy; it's looking sexy.
Yeah,
We kind
I'll
of-
give it that.
Yeah.
It looks really slick.
It was a constant effort actually from our part especially, and from my part, I can speak for Karan a little bit, where we undertoned and underplayed everything to make it a little bit, more, because, even the brief given to us was that we don't want to make it a usual hate story, as usual, we want to make it, raise the class a little bit more. So that's what we, intended to do. I hadn't seen, the hate, I've seen only one. And when I went to London, I watched Hate Story 3 to see, what Vishal has done, because although I'd seen the promos and everything, it doesn't escape you, but it wasn't the film that I had seen, and I had to watch it to know what I'm getting into, what I'm listening. It wasn't, at that point I was shooting back to back, so I didn't even have time to do my research. But I went for the narration. I was, he asked me, "Are you okay with this kind of stuff?" and all, and as being boys, we've taken off our shirts enough times to, be comfortable with the situation, and coming from theatre, and you're pretty comfortable in, he asked me, "Are you comfortable kissing?" and I said, "I'm fine as long as the girl's okay with it."
And she was okay with it. I mean, technically.
I'm sure. I'm sure she knew. When you sign a film like this, you can't at the end of the day on shoot say, "Arey main nahi."
Yeah, but I have male actor friends who turn around and say that, I know that the actress wasn't uncomfortable, when the scene was happening. You didn't feel that way. So you know that she had signed up for it and she figured out.
Yeah.
Great. The thing is about Vishal is that he's assisted Vikram Bhatt. Vikram's a very interesting character, dude. I mean, he's come in here and we've had conversations about life and afterlife and relationships and things like that, So this whole Mahesh Bhatt Saab, Vikram Bhatt philosophy is a very life coach kind of philosophy. Is Vishal anything like that? Has it rubbed off on him, or is he a totally different person?
He's entirely too sweet and nice to be, start preaching. He does his little bit of, his life experiences, and he actually his stories are more or less the funny incidences that happen to him on shoot and stuff like that. But he's a very nice guy, and he tries to his best to be profound and all that, and it's very fun to be with him around.
Tries his best.
Yeah, because I think he also comes from
because it rubs off. It does. When you work with somebody for such a long time.
The style is, the style, the thing, everything of the person.
It's like Alia herself comes and says, my dad gives gyan. You know what I mean? He's a great man, but still. So I guess somewhere it just does rub off. Yeah. So this casting process, man, is very interesting that, the two of you would be cast as brothers. So who's the casting director and who thought of it, Karan? Yeah?
But I think, like I said before, I was probably the last person to be, in the casting process.
Wow.
Because when I reached and I met Vishal and I met Bhushanji, I knew Vivan was doing the film. I knew Hrishi was doing the film. I did not know about Ihana, but I knew there was another girl that, was part of the film. So I got a call from T-Series, and I got a call through Mukesh Chavda, and Mukesh is a friend, so he said, even if you wouldn't want to do something like this, because as soon as he told me Hate Story 4, that first assumption is that, erotic, sex, thriller, story pata nahi kya hogi, are they just gonna sell sex, do I want to do this or not? But he said, just go with an open mind, even if you don't like it, just, be upfront, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna force you, no one's gonna put a gun to your head and say, no, you have to do it. I heard the script, I read the script, and then I met Bhushanji. He made me hear the songs, and he basically himself told me the pros and cons. And fortunately for me at that time, he said, the only thing that might affect in your head would be that it's a 2-hero film and not a 1-hero film. But other than that, everything is going to go great for you. It's a commercially successful franchisee. It's going to give you the eyeballs. And at the end of the day, as an actor who doesn't have too many choices, in the film fraternity at least, I think it was a very great move for me to take, because at the end of the day, if people see my work, that's how I'll get more work.
No, I think what you're doing is incredibly smart as far as your career is concerned. I mean, you're massive on television, whether it's anchoring, whether it's acting. A lot of people in your place in the past, like the Mihirs of this world, have given up their television career waiting for that movie break, and you haven't done that. You've just consistently kept working. Was that something you learned along the way, or did you have that strategy?
Because I think I have always followed one thing, and that is that I'm an actor and I will act the same way no matter what the medium is. I don't act according to the medium. Aisa nahi hai that I act differently on films, TV or the web. It's just that the way everything is shot is different. That's why you perceive me differently as an actor on different mediums. I did not give up on my acting stint or my anchoring stint this time on TV, because the last time when I had to, because I was under a contract with UTV.
Sure.
I gave up on a lot of things. And
but that was during remix,
no. 3 years back, I was doing this film called Babbu Ki Jawani.
Which never saw the light of the day.
It did not. We finished the film, we shot the film. For 1.5 years, I did not do anything on television because I was told not to.
Man,
and
that
I was
sucks.
like, okay. But unfortunately, when it did not come out, it was very difficult for me to make television people understand why I couldn't do TV. So I took that call that no matter what I do, I will never leave any work that I like. If I get work on TV, web that I really, really like, no matter I'm doing a film, Bollywood, Hollywood or anything, why should I leave? It's work at the end.
And in any case, all the lines are blurring now, whether
Thank God for
web
that.
and this and that, which is great.
And considering all the bigger stars are coming on TV, and this new funda that we've gussared between TV and films, the web, that seems to be really cool to the world now, I think is bridging that gap.
Let's talk about your career now. And I really like the fact that, there was a time when I used to see you clean shaven, the sweet chocolate boy. And I said, man, this guy can't do bad. He can't do evil. Look at you, dude. I mean, you've become a mountain. And you obviously worked your butt off at that, because at some point you realized that you had to be mean and do mean very, very, very well. And it's taken a lot of work. And kudos. Judwa 2 was great. Dangal was great. I've been following your career closely. I believe you're doing some great work down south also. So
yeah, I did a film called Raja the Great with Ravi Teja, and it turned out to be, touch wood, knock on wood, the biggest film of his career as well. So it made some 60 crores, which he has never, his films have never seen. So, and that role was also 50-50. It was between me and him. And that turned out amazing, because the role was just so goddamn amazing, and it just turned out beautiful, and I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, it all actually, I have to thank Mr. Salman Khan for this actually, because during Hero, he just suddenly turned around and said that, you know what, I need this guy to be much meaner and much more this thing, and it was Nikhil Advani and Mukesh Chavda that were batting for me during casting, and Nikhil just turned around and said that, listen, I put my name on the line for you. You better not disappoint me. So I said, dude, I'll do what it takes. You just give me the opportunity. And I did what I had to. That I didn't sleep. I just didn't eat properly. I mean, like, I ate everything properly. I did this thing properly. I just worked out 4 hours a day. I did whatever it took to get in this thing with Suraj. Just in competition with Suraj. That's what it took, and that's what you have to do. And touch wood, it's paid off. I found my niche. I found the place that I want to be in life, and where exactly I would like to be.
No, he was hampered by a contract, so he couldn't really do anything about it. You obviously weren't hampered by that, so you had to make a decision on this track thing, or did it just automatically happen to you? You just start getting bad guy roles.
I made it. It was a conscious decision. I always wanted to find a space, because I believe that even as a photographer or whatever you are, in my parallel career that I do, you have to find your own style and your own space, and that is very important. So my thing was to find a space for me on film, because unlike him, I gave up my film TV thing for a long time. I sat at home for almost 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and that took a heavy toll on me. It really did. It reached a point where it was like breaking point for me.
Where again you were advised that it's better to just not do TV and wait for cinema.
I had to take a break, because what, I had done 7 years of commercial television where people couldn't see me as anything else except, yaar तूने बहुत TV कर लिया यार, तूने बहुत छोटे roles कर लिए, तूने ये कर लिया, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too muscular, you're not muscular.
So you're saying casting guys and directors were also doing that?
No, I think those a few years back, say Vivan's talking about, say 4 years back also, things were very different. People would tell me also that you're mad, you're doing television left, right, center, no one's gonna pick you for films, you're overexposed.
You'll be overexposed.
And all I said was that I don't mind sitting at home. I'll sit at home. I don't have financial issues as of right now. But मैं घर पे क्यों बैठूं? Why should I sit at home and wait for that opportunity that may not come, and let go of opportunities that might be bigger, better? For me, I'd rather be a successful television star than to be a struggling film actor or a unsuccessful film star. Why can't I just do both? And eventually I think everyone finds their own way, I feel.
Like for me, what happened was I was doing television and film, but the roles that were being offered to me were smaller bits, because they were like, oh, he's doing so well on television, let's use him here in this bit, and we'll get the little bit of eyeballs from that carryover kind of thing. And I wasn't finding the break that I really want to, so I took a gamble. I just played the die, rolled the dice, and said that let's see where I land. Because everything in my career and even my life it's just been destiny. You can't control anything. Like you try your best. And actually, thinking about it, I shouldn't have quit television. I should have continued and done it, but that could have led me down a completely different path, and that could have probably led me down to being very content on television, where I was making honestly, Hrishi, like going from a paycheck which is massive in that time. I was not to blow my own trumpet, but I was like, after Ronit and all these guys, it was my name. I mean, I was making a potload of money and coming that from to zero to like zero, it's
and likewise you, Karan, you must have made some slick cash till you suddenly sat with a contract in your hand.
And what happens is sometimes you do things because you feel they're right for you at that time. I don't regret not working for those 1.5 years, because I genuinely thought life was set. I had a 3-film deal with UTV. I had 2 other films with other production houses. All I was waiting was for my film to release, which was completely finished. And I still remember on a Friday I had signed a film with another production house who had called me and gave me a script and said, "Sir, would you want to do this film?" And I was very surprised, because I was like, who am I to say whether I want to do a film? I thought you'd call me for an audition. They're like, no, we've got to know about your reviews of Babbu and blah 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 blah. On Monday, Babbu shut down, and Wednesday onwards nobody took my call till date. So that's where it hit me that I'd rather not leave other things which I love. I don't do television just for money. Yes, I do it for money also, because it just keeps me financially very sound. It keeps me, it lets me take my chances also. But I make sure that 99.9% work that I do on television, I somehow have some kind of happiness in it to enjoy it.
So, hit story 4, you're surrounded by a couple of other people of your ilk, man. The two other Panjus on set, which is Gulshan Grover and Iana, yeah? So, how was that? I love it when 2 or 3 Punjabis get together. I mean, it's the volume in the room gets louder, things are more fun. You agree, don't you?
Alcohol bottles
Yeah.
Fortunately and unfortunately, I should say both ways. Fortunately, we had 2 more Punjabis.
Yeah.
But I think the unfortunate part is Gulshan ji wasn't there with us for too long. He was just there for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 to 4 days.
And in those 3 days, I shot with him for 1 day.
Oh.
Actually, all Gulshan sir's scenes are with him.
So you had all the fun. He's quite a character, man.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
And all Ihana scenes are with him. I've just shot with Ihana 1 day.
So I should actually ask him that question. Being surrounded by the Punjabi.
I was surrounded by the Punjabi. Actually, Iana is very not Punjabi at all. She's so very muted, and she speaks very softly, and she's so it's very unlike Punjabi.
She's like,
who knows how she is with the Sailis at home.
And he's like, sexy, let's roll, baby.
That's a damn good Gulshan Grover.
Yeah, so and he'll come on the set and he brings his energy and like the bad man is here. And you're like, everyone's like, camera guy's like there, it's like, come on, make me look sexy. And that DOP, and it's amazing that he is so alive at that point. He just brings a lot of energy to the set. He's fun to work with. He'll say stuff which is he was supposed to hug me in one scene and he said, "मैं hug एक हाथ से करूँगा." So we were like, okay. And Vishal's like, sir, you have to. So he was like, no, I will do it like this and then I will look at the camera.
He's beautifully filmy.
Yeah,
I love the old school character.
He's so old school, and you're like this. You've studied film and all that stuff, and that when you're in a scene with him, it all goes out of the window, and you're like, yeah, let's just do whatever.
And they come with this aura of their own.
Yeah, like he's improvised. He's improvised in ways which he's not even supposed to. Like the camera's not on him, and he's improvised, and he's done so many things off camera, and you're like
going with the flow because somebody's improvising, so you're also doing your thing, and at the end of the Vishal's like, "Cut!" I was like, who told you to walk from there? That kind of thing. So it's fun.
Bro, you must be so happy. Your mates Shikhar Dhawan and Virat are doing so well, yeah?
They are.
You're still in touch with them on WhatsApp?
I am in touch with both of them, just not on WhatsApp. I meet them whenever. Shikhar and me go a very long way. We are nursery friends.
Wow.
And we're so he lives below my house, or I live above his house in Delhi.
In Delhi, yeah.
So and Virat is very, very close to me. He's a busy man now. He's a married man now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's done him so much good, no? I'm just so happy for them. They're wonderful people.
You're always proud of people that you've grown up and you've known when you were a nobody and they were a nobody. So it's always a proud moment.
And it looks as though they haven't changed at all from the under 19 days.
Not for, I think, usually I feel none of us, like even you, you don't change. I think people's perception for you.
That's an interesting point.
Do change because with the same people, yes, unfortunately when I shifted from Delhi to Mumbai, I have a friend circle now in Mumbai. So unfortunately, I'm not in touch with my Delhi friends. That doesn't mean I don't love them or that doesn't mean I don't like
Even if they think a star हो गया.
और उनका क्या होता है ना वो सीधा हाँ भाई अब तो तू स्टार बन गया अब तो तेरी फिल्म आ रही है ना. So you're like यार I'm sorry but what's happened is
I can't apologize for that. Yeah.
And when you meet them publicly, you have to spend more time with them, so that they don't feel you're a star.
He's very good that way. Even in London, he made time for his friends and stuff.
That's
like
quite
so
cool,
useless. You can ask my wife, and she's like, "Listen, make time for your friends. Build those relationships. Those are important."
That's
and I'm completely cut off. I'm so involved in my work, and I'm like a workaholic, and I'm trying to do multiple things at one time. And he does actually make time for his friends, which is amazing.
And I think I also do that because my personal funda is that where I left my conversation with you, I'll start it the same place.
That is so cool.
In the same way, because I don't feel bad if I'm chilled. So Vivan and me chilled for 45 days together, and then I think after 3 months I'm meeting him today.
Yeah, because
I haven't met him, but that doesn't change my equation with him because I will never forget those 45 days of fun, masti and all the madness that we did because of which we connected. And that's why now I will be connected to him for the rest of my life, no matter if I meet him every day or I don't meet him for years. And that's the kind of person I am. So if I don't feel bad, I think the other person also shouldn't.
Why didn't you continue playing competitive cricket? I mean, you played you played Junior Delhi State. Was there an
a lot
injury?
of people have asked me this.
Everybody wants
wants to know,
played
man.
Delhi
Yeah.
16, 17, and
That time it was not cool to be a cricketer.
it was. I think
It
that
was like
time.
much cooler to be an actor.
Yeah,
You know,
and that
like-
time also it was just the Indian cricket team.
Now, even if you don't play,
if
you can
you-
make a livelihood out of it, playing IPL and Ranji and everything. Yeah.
I just feel I would have been a very good looking cricketer. And I would have been acting a lot, making some
Yeah, you would have
serious
been, you
money.
would have been doing both actually.
Yes.
You would have been doing films as a cricketer also.
Like I tell
You would have
Virat,
been- imagine
I
that.
said, I tell Virat, I said, तेरी biopic आएगी ना, तू ही shoot करेगा. तू ही acting करेगा. तो now तो you have your leading lady also. So I think it's. I just left cricket because of a few reasons. I got injured, and I think more than the injury, I think I was a very brash child. I was very, very brash in the sense that I would take drastic decisions for no rhyme or reason, just for my, just for probably a small thing that happened with one of the coach during the trials or whatever. And I just took a decision. I said I don't want to play this, and my father was like, "Are you mad? You've given your life for it." And I said I don't want to. I said शिखर का नहीं हुआ, मेरा क्या होगा? अभी तक तो ये भी नहीं पहुंचा इंडिया की टीम में. And I think acting just happened. Somebody saw me in Delhi, told me to give an audition. I gave an audition. 2 weeks after that, I
And
was
then
in
Goldie and
Bombay.
Nanu picked you up for that.
And
Yeah.
they just picked me up, and I became a household name. And all these guys, Shikhar, Virat, my parents, everybody were like, "Good decision." Cricket में यार कोई भरोसा नहीं है. 3 years later, IPL comes. They're like, "You're stupid, man. You should have waited, bro. What, man? This is cricket." And I'm like, "Dude, excuse me." So I don't regret it, but I miss it. That's all.
No, man. I remember there was so much excitement because Goldie and Nanu are friends, and when you guys were living in a flat and this and that, I remember them telling me, saying, "Man, there's this guy Karan Wahi is coming." There was a lot of excitement when you were launched on TV, and Star One was going through a relaunch. So yeah, no regrets, man. That's the
No
way
regrets at all. I think.
What were you? A batsman, bowler, all rounder? What were you?
I was a bowler who could bat, but with time, I was opening the innings and I was opening the bowling.
Yeah.
So I became really, really good.
Wow.
And, I think, sometimes it's just one of those years, like how Virat's form just doesn't end. I think it was just one of those, I felt bad because I was in that form at that point at the time I left cricket. But today I'm here, sitting in front of you because I'm an actor, and I'm really, really thankful. You've just said Goldie Bhaiya and Nanu, so I just want to thank you so much, Goldie Bhaiya and Shrishti Di, because I think I'll be indebted to them for the rest of my life because they got me to Bombay. I would have never come to Mumbai.
What about you? You can't be surrounded by a wife and a sister-in-law who are competitive tennis players and not play some tennis. Are you getting some time to play some tennis?
I actually picked up tennis so that Nikhila would, my wife would get back into it, because she gave up tennis and stuff. So I wanted to get her back into it. So I said, I'll pick it up and I'll learn and stuff. And I started getting really good. I used to play with the, over 70 bracket and
So single-handed backhand or double-handed backhand? What is it?
Single-handed draw, just like a tung, land in the other side. No, but
Till the time it lands in the other side, it's okay.
I was the Michael Chang of CCI. Basically, I used to return every ball, no matter how hard it was hit, and I used to return it in the most irritating fashion because all the players would be like break their rackets. They would become McEnroe with me because it was like the ball would just go like in the air and land with this very slow pace and tuk 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 tuk. But I would return it. Like it's back with interest.
You're a golden retriever in human form.
I was like a rocket. I was just going from. But in competitive thing, I used to swim. That's where I was my speed. And in cricket, I was Srinath. So I used to pace bowler. I used to break the stump, and I used to be sent last to bat because I used to either get clean bowled or I used to hit like 360s. So I was Srinath. Basically, that's what my job.
And what's your weapon of choice when you're shooting? When you're doing your photography? What is your favorite?
DSLR, Sony. I shoot with Sony mirrorless now. I started with a Canon, moved to Sony because I found it much more work friendly. The workflow is better and the results are much better. Closer to medium format where I would eventually like to be. But that's my weapon of choice.
So what's your backup plan, bro? You have so many things happening. Ex-sportsman, current actor. He's got his backup plan worked out.
He's businessman, investor.
When he's old and grey, he's going to be the next
this man has his own.
Advani.
This man has his own team. Do you know that?
Yeah. So
No.
so entrepreneur.
I've been doing a lot of things. I own a cricket team. I own a
Super.
food franchisee.
Entrepreneur.
I have a production house. I write. I direct. I just directed my first film. So we've got some really good reviews. It's gone for some festivals. So that's what we've been doing. What I do is I feel for a long time.
Is it a feature you directed or is
No,
it a
short
film?
film. So we do like web stuff, like web shows or short films or any kind of stuff because I think the last 4 or 5 years we are like a bunch of friends TV guys who would crib every single day कि हम ये क्या कर रहे हैं, हम अच्छा काम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, हमें अच्छा काम करना है. And then we realized that if you want to do good work, and what is good work to you, if you want to do that, why don't you just create it? So make your money and then just put it in all the stuff that you want to do.
Something done right, you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, totally.
And then if nothing works, I have my father's business. Back
Which
home
would
in
be
Delhi.
what?
And for me, my safety net is my wife works really well. Works really hard. So she's
I'll find one
she's
who
rich.
works really
It's
hard.
fine. It's fine.
No, but what is the family business? Is it
So
nothing
we have
to
an
do with-
automobile business.
Lovely.
So which is great. I think that's one of the reasons I was so brash and so wild and mad that I always knew that अगर कुछ नहीं कर पाया तो ये यहाँ तो बैठ ही जाऊंगा.
So what happens in Hate Story 4 without giving the story away? There are two brothers, woman, classic case, and I know he's the vile evil man. It's not a spoiler, but I see him putting some pills into a drink.
No, two brothers who love each other the most.
But you don't know who's had the drink.
Yeah.
Maybe it's made to his drink.
Yeah. Unfortunately, happen to like the same girl, if I can put it like that. And what happens when they both like the same girl is the story about. There is a complete flashback to this film.
It's like a plot twist
Like a
which
plot-
changes the entire equation.
Exactly. You'll realize the entire story once that comes. That
Because
plot
the
comes.
the triangle is actually not the story. The crux
Exactly.
of the story is something completely
else.
Wow.
different.
Exactly.
The triangle
That's
is,
already piqued my interest, man.
yeah, so
Amazing.
the triangle is just the tip of the iceberg, the selling point of the film, where you're showing the romance and the erotic aspect and everything. The rest of the film is completely different. It
And there are murders. I hope there are.
Well, even that has a plot.
Oh.
And I was telling someone else right now, like a few hours back, that when I read the script, there is after the climax something that I read. Even I did not think that
Wow, it
would
shocked
be
you.
there. So it
Yeah,
shocked
shocked
me.
you.
So I was like, if it shocked me as an actor, I really want to do this then. Because then it's interesting to me. कि मैंने ये तो expect किया ही नहीं था.
So from a commercial standpoint film, when you have a run-of-the-mill formula which has been done in this thing, adding this one interesting plot twist makes it interesting for us as actors as well to be a part of it. That's as simple as you can get in putting it.
Filming in the UK, man, it's such a UK. The UK is the
And what
UK.
weather?
Yeah,
What, UK summer?
What
No,
food,
or minus
winter,
2, 0.
minus
something.
2. Actually, by the end of
Yeah, but you're a Delhi boy. You take cold well.
नहीं यार, I don't. I am a Mumbai guy now.
Now,
14 years
हो गया 14-15 साल हो गए.
No, but I think
For me, it was I was filming for Judwa in London, so I
man.
filmed for like 20 days, 25 days in London in like some disgusting weather, which was if it was a summer for me, it was still cold. It was like then I came back and I went to Hyderabad. Okay, did a South film in 45 degrees,
Scorching.
in scorching, and which I have a permanent ganji built into my chest right now, which is like a tan which will not go away. And coming from that, 10 days later, I'm in London again with like 10 degrees coming down to zero and minus, and we were like, my body was like going like in shock, it's like my hair was standing without any gel. It was like, what is going on with you?
but
I mean, like,
great. I love the weather.
Yeah,
I think it's always good to shoot because you look better. I don't know, somehow the
we,
light.
we end up discussing that we can actually wear layers and we can look cool and stylish. When like Brad Pitt and all are wearing all these layers, and I was like, "Tu idhar Bombay, try wearing it here, you'll melt."
And also the kind of food that we are having there. Everything is like, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I can live on fish and chips all day.
Ask us. We've had
lived
so
on
much
that, yeah,
fish and chips.
So any exotic castles? I mean, haunted castles? None of that?
No, we had some interesting castles. We had we're shown to live in a castle.
Yeah, you do. That's why I'm asking, because the
so,
trailer has all these...
we're living in this
Nothing
mansion.
haunted. I hope so.
Nothing haunted. We ran away from there before it got very late. No, actually, we're shooting nights, so it was like, I think the ghosts were afraid of us because the British ghosts saw Indians for the first time. So they were
We're too loud.
we were too loud, making so much noise, and we were disturbing the guests because we were shooting in this hotel kind of a thing. And there was no haunted stuff, but it was kind of eerie because you had this fog settling, and I was visualizing Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of Baskervilles, and there's two eyes glowing in the dark somewhere, but nothing happened. I was like, damn, it's
No
so
eyes.
cool. Yeah.
Nothing. There was only light. Dada.
But it was so cool when you see this amazing fog coming in, and you don't see all that here. You see this fog coming in and settling in, and it's like it's going to be a bit nippy today. And
And I just remember we've shot abroad. Like I've shot like a few times now. There's something about the entire scenario and all these people who work on the set. This abroad cast that is there. Like even the people, the light guys or the trolley guys, they're so friendly because there's no hierarchy abroad.
Yeah, everyone's equal.
Everyone's equal. Everyone's an equal.
And in fact, they were complaining to us about certain, actors, and not to say any names, but they were complaining who came there recently, and they would treat them kind of as a lower rung person, and they were like, you guys are so cool because we can talk to you and share
so
stories, and we would spend time with them, because they're so interesting as people, and that was what was.
It's the same problem I face. I always say, why can't we smile at people in lifts?
Yeah.
You guys get smiled at now because you're a celebrity, but think of when you were not a celebrity.
Yeah.
Nobody smiles at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas you go abroad, everybody's smiling.
Yeah.
You acknowledge, you smile, you nod, and you move on. So that's wonderful. You worked with back-to-back ledges, boss. So Mr. Dhawan and Amir. So learnings from Amir, learnings from Mr. Dhawan. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was floored by Amir Khan's humility and his amazing nature, that he is so down to earth. And I, at fact, one point told him, I said, because he was complimenting me on my performance, and I told him, sir, please, aap itni tareef mat kijiye, because I can't take it. It's not, I can't digest this. This is you're too sweet, you're being too nice and stuff. But he was very nice. He explained everything he wanted. He's very thorough on what he wants. He knows exactly what he wants. Even with Nitesh Tiwari, they knew exactly what they wanted. We trained for about like a couple of months for that one sequence that you see, because taking those falls and all is dangerous. You can break your neck and snap your back in two. But we had the training. It wasn't like a typical Hindi film where you're like on the set, abhi ye kar le, do rehearsal kar lenge, uska kar le. I properly trained. I was well versed in the art of wrestling and taking hits. Actually, I was doing that, and I trained with him as well. And we did training videos where we saw what we were doing, and the falls looked perfect because we wanted to look authentic. So that I learned from him, that giving it that extra mile adds that difference. At the thing. And if all this, the remarkable thing which nobody knows is that we rehearsed for so long, but we did all the falls and all the action in one take.
Wow.
In one take. Action.
It's a sure lesson of great. Just keep at it at the next.
And David sir is a complete polar opposite. He's like, it's just like, like winging it to another level, and he's just like improvise. And he's the kind of guy, I think he comes from a genre where I think his actors never gave him time for, more than Govinda never gave him time for anything. So he wants to finish, like, first of all, David sir doesn't want to work past 6 o'clock in the evening. He's like, bus ho gaya, yaar, bahut ho gaya. So it was so like chilled. I really didn't feel that you're working, like, you felt like you're on holiday. We were all being yelled at, and I was a punching bag. It was like Varun used to run away, so I used to get it. So I was one point I'm just standing around like, "Tu khada kyun hai?" I'm like, "Sir, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया." Like, "Tu idhar mood खराब." I was like, okay. So then I realized that that's the way he is, and I told Varun also, like, what did I do? He's like, no, he yells at everybody. It's okay. It was that kind of thing. And me and Varun used to do this whole thing where we're like, अभी ये करेंगे और ये ऐसे बोलेंगे और ये emotion रखेंगे और ये करेंगे और वो. He's like, हाँ कर लो, मैं काट दूँगा. हाँ कर लो, तुम मैं काट दूँगा. We're like, हाँ कैसे काटेगा? And we saw the film and Varun was like, यार काट दिया. काट दिया यार.
Because he's an editor first before a director.
So he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got that out of us, and he's amazing. In fact, he is so sweet. He's such a gem of a person. He called me up just yesterday, and he just sends this one message saying call, and I called him up, and he's like, "Kaisa hai tu? What are you doing? I spoke to Bhushan, and your film is raking up some amazing numbers. I wanted to congratulate you. How are you doing? Are you okay?" And as usual, I went into struggler mode, and I told him, "Sir, please calm down." So I was like, sweet. Yeah. So I was like, I thanked him so much. I said, "Sir, coming from you, it really means a lot, because your support." And can you imagine, like, for me, David Dhawan has come to see what my hair is going to look like. He's come to the salon to get my hair cut.
Wow, that's detailing.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean,
Very
like,
nice.
to see this is what he wants to look like. So he's like, "Mujhe aisa chahiye," and like and he had this thing in mind where this guy has one tattoo, and that tattoo is his birthday in Roman numerals. He had like all this detailing going on in his head. He should wear these clothes and all. So it's amazing that even in that genre of cinema, he has put in that effort to know everything, and especially that effort with me. That made a lot of difference to me. Where if the director is giving you so much, then you want to give him everything.
Let's talk some music, Karan. Mithun on the soundtrack he was there in the last Hate Story. He's back. Lovely ballad. Tanish Bagchi's done an interesting turn on the Himesh song. It must be an album which is on your phone.
It is, every day and for the last 4 weeks, I think now the songs have been coming out every week, and last 2 weeks 3 songs have released. I love the songs. I actually love Vivan's song the most. The first song that had come out, Tum Mere Ho. It was in the promo also, in the teaser. But out and out, it's T-series.
There's Boon, there's Tum Mere Ho, there's Badnamiya, which is just
released. But out and out, I think because it's a T-series film. The first day we knew that कुछ हो ना हो,
Yeah.
बस गाने they'll be great.
Yeah, they've kicked it out of the park.
And I think when it's a great album, I think it works wonders for the film itself.
It does.
Because a lot of people actually come to the film wanting to see the songs because they're always humming it, and I'm happy that all of us are looking great. The songs are
looking great. The numbers are doing. I mean, we were shocked. Honestly,
millions of
we
views,
expected it to do well, but it's doing beyond what anybody expected. Even the director called me up, Vishal called me up and said, "It's doing so well. It's doing so well." And I was like, congratulations. It's just let's we're just like all gung ho for it. Let's wait for the release and let's see how it does and everything. So we're just praying to God.
Urvashi plays a model. What are you guys? What profession and where does Ihana come
We're
in?
billionaires.
Billionaires.
We're
You don't have to do anything.
We don't do anything. We're just chilling.
So where does Ihana come in?
Ihana is playing.
She works for you.
She works for me and also has now translated into becoming my girlfriend.
Okay.
In the film.
Got it. Vivan Bhathena, thanks for your time, buddy. Lots of love.
so much.
Lots of love. Karan Wahi, thanks for rolling by.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.